Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Sheila Thelen. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting Life Unscripted. I'm so grateful to have you here today. We're going to have a fascinating topic. I told you just before we got started that we have once a year Aviation Month, where we have top experts in the aviation field come to share in business from an aviation perspective. But you're going to share something we've never talked about. You work or the president of Vestibular Training Services, and you're a master-rated figure skating coach. But you're going to talk about how people in normal society can use vestibular training to help their brain be faster, more cognitive processes quicker and faster, improve that. But I never heard of that. So this is fascinating. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited. This is just my favorite topic. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. My family's so sick of me, and this is all I want to talk about. So,
well, how did that come about that you realized the application through not just figure skating, but that you could apply it to the population, the general population, and how other people like pilots can really benefit from this?
So it's all based on your vestibular system. And that's how basically it's the master system of your brain. And it's how basically your eyes and your ears process back into your brain, either quickly or slowly. And my example is always, if you've had an ear infection and you tried to walk through a door and you slam into it, your balance is all off. Or if you tried to jog with your eye covered, you'd trip, you'd fall over, you'd hit the curbs. Your brain just isn't set up to process like that. So it would take training to learn how to mismatch process. So there's so many pieces of the brain that are so fascinating, but this vestibular system is really this master system. So we train it so hard in figure skating that we're starting to apply to the general public. So really we're taking world-class sports training tools from the figure skating world and applying it to the general public. And it's so exciting to see how many people we can help.
Wow. So I of course, you've helped figure skaters. I've seen that what you've done in the pilot community. Now, who have you worked with outside of those two industries, and how has it helped them as far as applying this training?
So we've started a whole bunch of different projects around the world. And I talk about, I'm the center point of all these different projects that really seem to have nothing to do with each other, but they're all applying vestibular in different ways. So we're doing a little teeny tiny project right now with NASA, which is really exciting, and working with astronauts in dizziness, of course, floating in space. We're just starting a project next month with Nike, specific to taking a normal athlete, improving their balance, and moving towards elite athletes. So balance, it all goes kind of back to that balance concept. We also,
I just thought of something. I hear as you get older, balance becomes an issue. Is there something that goes on as you get older in your inner ear or the vestibular portion of your ear? What's going on?
Absolutely. And it's basically a slowing of the vestibular system. And that example is so easy. The spinning teacups at Disney World. After about 30, you're like, oh yeah, kids, you go buy that yourself. I'll stand here and watch you over here behind the little metal bar, because you can't do it. It's harder and harder the older we get. But that's why we get dizzier the older we get. And that's such a danger of our parents and our grandparents, of those fall risks. And really, once they start to fall, really, it's a really hard decline. That's very quick. So we're doing projects like that. We've been working with even some firefighters specific to the spatial disorientation, the whole concept of going into a smoky room, clearing what needs to be done as a firefighter, but being able to find your way back out, which saves lives. I mean, that's the danger of being a firefighter. So we're doing a lot of really cool projects around the country. We're working with PTs and we're working with OTs, and still that just trying to get that brain just moving quicker with better balance and better cognitive.
Wow. So if anyone said, hey, I've really, interestingly enough, some of my friends who've reached their 40s and 30s will have moments within the year where they'll get this extreme dizziness. I forgot the name for this, but
vertigo.
Thank you.
Oh goodness. Terrifying.
Yeah. And it's horrible. I mean, they for weeks are like homebound, they're vomiting. But can they begin to take your training to get through this, or to keep it from happening in the future?
Absolutely. And I have to say the vertigo group probably hates me the most because when they see how I do it, it looks really scary to them. But we really, really can start gently and easily and slowly so that it can build up very smoothly. So it isn't terrifying. We're really, really sensitive to that. So, but I have crazy videos to show.
Oh, show me. Yes, I'd love to see it. We all would.
Oh my God. And sorry, I have a slightly busy desktop here. Just ignore that. So here we go. So here's actually one of my favorite athletes that has, she's at the end of the video, she's going to tell you how she's not dizzy. And this is the exciting part of this non-spatial disorientation. So you can see we've got the electric spinner and it speeds up and then she goes up into flight. Oh my goodness. And she's turning 5.5 turns per second. And this is more of like an elite athlete speed. There's a lot of people that never leave the platter. Like my mom just stands on the platter and never leaves the platter, but she's fast. She's got a midline cross, axis balance, proprioception, oh my goodness, so much vestibular, but listen to this. This is fascinating. Impressive. Okay, coming down. And then of course, the most amazing part to the whole story. Okay, how dizzy are you?
I'm not dizzy.
Not that dizzy.
I'm not dizzy
at all. You know, thanks. Have a great day from Vestibular. Like, look at her. She's so nonchalant. Yeah. So
now I noticed she was looking down a little bit. Does she do something with her body to make it more acceptable for her, or is it just that it's repetition over and over again?
It's repetition. It's repetition. She can speed it up. She can slow it down. It's fascinating. But when you talk about flight training, one of my former students flies helicopters for the U.S. Army. And this is the clip that I just love. I could watch this one all day long. She's brilliant. Ready?
So being a figure skater, it completely changed my life with aviation. The training I received through years of skating made me basically immune to spatial disorientation. They've put me through every test, every Blarney chair, every spinny apparatus, the spatial disorientation pods, and I cannot get disoriented. I always know where my body is. I always have a sense of where the ground is, how to right myself, and also the mental clarity on how to stay calm. And that all came through skating. It all came through the years of spinning and coming out of a certain position, spinning and with my head in different ways. And it's literally going to save my life as an Army aviator. And I feel like vestibular training could save the lives of all aviators because you can train spatial disorientation out of you. You can learn to not get spatially disorientated. It is a learned, practiced skill that is possible.
Isn't that amazing? Like, I just think that's so exciting. And we are starting, we're in the process of starting with the US military, exactly on this concept. And this is what we're so excited about. And really,
I'm excited too. And because, this is the application, people listening in, well, I'm not a figure skater, I'm not in the military, but that's not the point. The point is, as we get older, balance is so important because as you just mentioned earlier, a fall in your 70s could end you. Or people break their hip, boom, you're done. A couple of weeks later, you die. And so getting your balance in order and working on that before you get to that point is so important.
Absolutely. And, and I've been working with my mom, which has just been great. So much fun working with my mom. But, like at 75, she was acting more like 85. Since she's been working with me like twice a week, 5 minutes, this is a very quick 5 minutes, boom, you're done. She's acting more like she's 65 now, not 75. And so these are the projects that we're so excited about and why we're just so happy to talk about your vestibular system.
I love it. So I'm excited for the audience. Can they come out to the facility themselves, or are you keeping it kind of private at the moment? How does that work?
Now, so many options. So we have our training facility is located just south of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Shakopee, Minnesota. So it's a nice, beautiful little suburb. We've got a training room. It's great. People are welcome to message me and contact and get in on the schedule. We also have products all over the country. So you can also track down some products semi near you. And we're also, of course, expanding the company. So we're with PTs and OTs and doctors and aging groups, and they can message me. We also offer, of course, free training on all of the gear, as different groups purchase. We'd really love to be in more community centers and
cool.
Workout areas, just to make it even easier access for everyone. So,
well, we have a couple of really huge LA Fitnesses in South Texas here. Give them a holler. That'd be awesome. Do you have any places set up now in South Texas that
I have a friend in McAllen, Texas, that would be available to help people out.
Yeah.
And I have some stuff in, I want to think, Dallas, and Sugar Land, Texas has,
that's awesome.
Sugar Land, Texas, I know has a lot of my gear too. So,
awesome.
So there's lots of options, and we'll for sure find a way to help people. So,
now,
yes, we're excited.
Are you also making this gear available for people to buy themselves at home? How does that work? What's that look like?
Sure. Absolutely. So you can absolutely purchase it for your home. And you'll see I have one just kind of stuck here.
There it is.
So there's the harness.
It's a party trick. Is it a party thing when people come on over? Come on, sit here.
We've got the spinner on the floor, and I just slide it out with a yoga mat, and we use it all the time. Like
awesome.
it's you can put it in your dining room. The one little trick is it does need a 10 to 14 foot ceiling, which is a slight issue. So a lot of people put them in their garages, but it really would be great for children and children with autism and children working on reading programs, to tie that vestibular to, of course, cognitive. So we do work with a lot of children with autism and sensory, and it's just so lovely to see the children's improvements, and they love it. It's fun, it's a fun thing to do with the children. So they really do love it.
Now, I love that. Let's go there real quick, because I, in my 20s, worked for a year and a half with children with autism. How does it help with does it kind of help work through the autism, help them share that. I'm so curious.
So I've worked with several children with autism, and it was lovely to see the comments back from the parents are always, a huge list of things that they would talk about, but that the children wouldn't have those complete breakdowns, that really cut them down by 50 to 60%, which of course improved the family's lives by 100%, just more of an even keel.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, it's that, once again, it's that cognitive and the eye stabilization that a lot of the children are reading and doing really well. And that's the exciting thing to see. And really it's that sensory integration, which of course, we know that the more we do sensory, the easier it is to learn. Wow. It's lovely to see. So that's been a really exciting part to the project. So we're working with several autism groups throughout the country.
Now I have a question, Sheila. I found at times I would get dizzy in the cockpit early on, and my teacher would say, "Don't close your eyes. It makes it worse." Why?
Oh, geez. I just think that you need to know what's going on.
Oh, okay. You're probably confusing your brain.
Close your eyes is like, oh, we're all gonna die.
Yeah. Well, no, he's sitting next to me. No, you gotta keep control of the airplane. But he was there. But I think it was more perhaps the fact that your information's getting mixed up because you're spinning in your head, or it thinks it is, but then you close your eyes and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? So anyway, I was curious about that, because I was just like, he said it's going to make it worse if you do that. So
right. No, I'm all about keep your eyes open, but
yeah.
The spinner in the harness, every once in a while I'll look and people are closing their eyes. I'm like, no, eyes open, and it's that nice blurry look is really what it looks like.
Awesome. Well, I loved this topic, and I'm really excited that how many people it's going to help out there. Savvy peeps, go out there. And how can they find out where they can find out the closest training center to them? How can they go about doing that?
The easiest way is just through our website. So our website is really easy. It's spinyourbrain.com. Spinyourbrain.com. Nice and easy. Loads right into our main vestibular training services website, because vestibular is hard to spell. So yeah, just spinyourbrain.com. And for sure our staff can help you. We'll find a way to help everyone.
Thank you so much, Sheila, for coming today. It's been such a great chat. I know you're going to help so many people. Thank you for coming to Savvy Broadcasting Life Unscripted. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
like, subscribe, and share this episode. To listen to more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to www.lifeunscriptedradio.com. To find out about our paid sponsorship opportunities or how to become a guest, email Christina at lifeunscriptedradio.com.